What is up, everybody? Here with the 51st shelf of my action movie collection, starting with The Core. This is an underrated disaster movie, in my opinion. Didn't do as well in the box office as like Armageddon and, Day After Tomorrow, Independence Day, things like that, 2012. But I really enjoyed this movie. This is kind of the movie that made me really like Aaron Eckhart as an actor. And I'm a big fan of Delroy Lindo, so this movie was very, very good. Worth watching if you haven't seen it before, for sure. Then we have Nicolas Cage in Bangkok Dangerous. This was pre-straight to DVD releases. Pretty solid action movie. I enjoyed it quite a bit. This is when he would start having like 6 and 7 movies in the theater in one year, which kind of put him into straight to DVD land, because how often can you keep that up and have the movies be good? But this one was actually very good. Then we have Bad Company with Anthony Hopkins and Chris Rock. Not a huge Chris Rock fan, but him and Anthony Hopkins did really well together in this movie. Joel Schumacher also did an amazing job directing this movie. The feel of it was a lot like Bad Boys. So, very fun watch. Then we have Enemy of the State with Will Smith and Gene Hackman. Absolutely fantastic movie. Still a really kind of creepy, scary movie even in today's standards, especially with today's standards, considering how much surveillance there is now. And Tony Scott did an amazing job directing this movie. Definitely one of my favorite old school action directors. Always made a movie very intense, which I loved. So definitely one of my go-tos here. Then we have Armageddon with Bruce Willis. Love the disaster movies. Pre-Transformers for Michael Bay, so absolutely fantastically done. I hope that he gets back into making these big budget action movies. So here's to hoping. Then we have The Condemned with Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vinnie Jones. I love this movie. Very fun. Stone Cold at this time was red hot as far as coming out of wrestling. And just a very gritty, very, very brutal movie, which it needed to be considering the storyline. But yeah, I love watching this movie. Then we have Gamer with Gerard Butler. One of the old school action actors left out there. Him and Jason Statham are kind of the new Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger duo, in my opinion. Because not many actors make old school action anymore. I guess you can kind of throw Liam Neeson in there a little bit. Maybe he'd be like the Bruce Willis of the bunch. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of old school action, and this is old school action right here. Then we have the first Mission Impossible movie with Tom Cruise. Brian De Palma directed this one. This was back when they changed directors every movie. Slower than the other Mission Impossible movies, but still a fun watch. So worth checking out. Then we have Mission Impossible 2, directed by John Woo, which upped the ante from the first one. Which is probably why I'm not too upset that the first one wasn't, as fast-paced as the other ones, because at least then you can dial it up every single movie that you release, which is exactly what this franchise does, and not in a bad Fast and Furious way. Then we have Mission Impossible 3, which is one of my favorite of the franchises. This was directed by J.J. Abrams. And coming off of directing Alias, he knew what to do with a movie like this and what it needed to really take it over the top. So absolutely fantastic movie here. Then we have The Kingdom. Pretty good movie, considering the times, especially when this movie came out. It was very cutting edge. I like Jennifer Garner in action movies compared to other types of movies. Jason Bateman even did really well. So did Jeremy Piven in this movie. So solid watch if you haven't seen it before. Then we have National Treasure with Nicolas Cage. modern day Indiana Jones. I really wish they'd make a third one of this. You know, get Nicolas Cage back in the theater where he needs to be if he'd stop accepting every movie role thrown his way. But yeah, this was a fun adventure movie right here. I absolutely love this movie. I'm gonna have to upgrade this one for sure. Then we have National Treasure 2, which I actually enjoyed better than the first one, which is why I wish they would make a third one of this. What's holding it up, I don't know. But it's a shame, that's for sure. Then we have Collateral with Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx, directed by Michael Mann. And he's got a real knack for making a movie feel extremely real. And this one is no exception. And Tom Cruise gets out of his comfort zone and is an amazing villain in this movie. I mean, I'd consider this movie to be a classic of Michael Mann's right here. And I kind of wish Tom Cruise would kind of play a villain a little bit more often because I really like his range in this movie. So I'd like to see what else he could do. Comment down below if you'd like to see Tom Cruise as a villain more often. Then we've got Basic with John Travolta, Connie Nielsen, and Samuel L. Jackson. This is a really good plot twist thriller movie where you really don't know all the angles until the very end of it. 2003 was just a fantastic year for movies, that's for sure, because this is absolutely phenomenal. Then we have Death Sentence. This is a brutal, tough movie to watch. You know, if you thought, you know, when I was saying The Condemned was a pretty brutal movie, it doesn't hold a candle to this one. It is brutal. It is a psychological thriller for sure as well. But you can't stop watching it once you start watching it. It is so good. Kevin Bacon's best movie right here. Then we have Troy with Brad Pitt, Eric Bana, and Orlando Bloom. Love Wolfgang Peterson as a director. He directed Poseidon, which is one of my favorites, and this is one of my favorites right here. I love these old, well, not old, but like epic war movies. And with the visual effects, you know, it is absolutely fantastic, this movie. You know, I could probably go back and watch this at least once a year, and with good reason. And I'm going to have to upgrade this for sure. I hope there's a 4K of this someday, because I'm going to get it. Then we have The Punisher with Tom Jane and John Travolta. This is The Punisher the way The Punisher should be right here. This is violent. This is old school. Thomas Jane was the perfect choice. I wish they would have continued with him instead of doing that Punisher Warzone movie, but they didn't. And so we only got the one, but the one was fantastic. And John Travolta was fantastic as the villain too. Reminded me a lot of Broken Arrow. Then we have A Man Apart with Vin Diesel. Well, this was post Fast and Furious, the first one anyway. But this is when he would do more than just Fast and Furious and Triple X movies. And I kind of missed that because he was going to be the new Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger guy. And he just kind of never got out of the sequel rut, I guess you can say. Then we have U-571, very fun movie to watch. Bill Paxton, Matthew McConaughey, an amazing cast. Jonathan Mostow did a great job directing this movie as well. Definitely need to check this one out if you haven't seen it before. You will not be sorry you watched it. Then we have Phone Booth, another Joel Schumacher movie. This was very low budget, but man, was it good. Oh my God. You need to check this one out. Again, you won't be sorry. You don't know what's really going on until the very end. I mean, this is just like, it's along the lines of Death Sentence in a way. You know, so definitely check this out. Then we have Gone in 60 Seconds, the director's cut. I've only seen the theatrical cut. I've not seen the director's cut of this, so I don't know how much footage they added to it. But I do enjoy this movie, and the cast is absolutely phenomenal. Nicolas Cage at his best right here. Then we have Batman Begins, which is the best Batman trilogy ever. The Dark Knight trilogy right here. Christopher Nolan made the absolute perfect trilogy of movies. Go back and watch this every year as well. And of course, we got to have The Dark Knight, which is even better than Batman Begins. I think they just got better and better as the trilogy went on. My favorite was actually The Dark Knight Rises. I loved Tom Hardy as Bane. I know it's the unpopular choice of the three, but I enjoyed it. And then lastly, we have Assault on Precinct 13, the remake with Ethan Hawke and Lawrence Fishburne. Amazing cast, amazing tempo. It felt real gritty and old school action type of thing, and absolutely love this movie. Another movie I like to go back and watch every year. Worth checking out if you haven't seen it before. Underrated action movie. But that will do it for this shelf. If you like content like this, please like and subscribe. Your support is much appreciated. I'm also over on Letterboxd. The link to that is in the profile description of this channel. Otherwise, until next time, have a good one, guys.